Everyone, this is Heather Smith with Storyville Photography, and today I'm going to show you how to achieve this edit. This is the straight out of camera. This was taken about 1 p.m. on a very overcast day, so we will add a little bit of sun at the end and kind of fake it. This is my sister and her beautiful family. I just love the little pops of colors that comes from their wardrobe against the brown background. So this is where we started. And here's where we will finish. So before and after. And so the first thing we're going to do is make a copy of the background, Command J, and I'm going to get rid of this white patch here. To do that, I'm just going to get the patch tool, and it doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to smooth the background out and it's going to look gorgeous. So I'm going to just take a little bit from over here and there. So before and after. And the next thing I want to do is flatten. So layer, flatten image, make sure the background layer is selected, and I'm going to run my smoothing and sharpening action. So I'm going to do the step 1, smoothing. And I just love this. It makes it really soft and buttery looking. So before and after, but as you can see, a lot of the details in their face and clothing kind of disappear. So there's a step 2, and I run this after the step 1, obviously, and it sharpens them back up. You can also play around with the opacity on these. You don't have to leave it full to where they look almost cartoonish, but I'm going to leave it at 100%, and then I'm going to run the sharpen. And there we go. Brought back some of those details, which I just love. And now I'm going to flatten that. So layer and flatten image. The next thing I'm going to do is make it even more silky and fun. I'm going to go into the Dreamy Matte action and run the Twisted Matte. It's going to look really crazy at first, guys, but we're going to dial it back quite a bit. I'm going to go down to the Twisted Matte base, and I'm going to lower it to about 25%. Enter. And then I'm going to make sure at 100% opacity to grab the brush, 100%, on the black and erase it from them completely. And then I'm going to just work my way up in these layers. So I'm going to go to the Add Matte and turn it up a little bit. 45% looks good. And I'm going to brush that off of them as well. Then come into the contrast layer. I'm going to dial that back just a little bit and brush that off of them as well. For the highlights, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to invert it. So make sure you click on the layer mask and hit Command I and grab a soft white brush, 100% opacity, and I'm just going to spread that all over my subjects. Come over to the color dazzle and I'm going to turn it off. We can always bring a little bit more color back into it at the end if we choose, but for now I'm going to mute that. For focus the subjects, I'm going to leave it at the 57%, grab a black brush, 100% opacity, and just kind of wipe that off of them. So here's the before and after of that. It really softens it up and just makes it dreamy. And now I am going to flatten the image. So layer, flatten, okay. And I'm going to run the Earthy Tones action. It's going to look really weird at first, but we will fix that obviously. For here, all about that base, I'm going to keep these all as is, but I'm going to add a layer mask to it and turn it down about to 64%. And I'm going to wipe this off my subjects. For this, I'll turn this off for now. For this, you want to get in there pretty good and just try and, you know, take it off their hair, their clothing, and not run onto the background too much, or at all if you can help it. I'm not going to spend a crazy amount of time, but if you were doing this for a client, I would definitely take the time and make sure that the edges, you know, don't have a halo or anything like that. And we can always go back and fix it if we need to, but like I said, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. If you hit the slash button, it can show you where you've already wiped the action off, which can be very helpful as well. Okay, and that's good enough for what we're doing. So out of the tones, I am going to choose tone number 2, and I want to have the same mask as I did all about the base. So to save yourself some time from doing it again, all you have to do is hit the option button and hold on to it and drag it. And we can also, you know, fix the mask if we want. Like you can see, I need to add a little bit more brown here. So I'm going to grab the white soft brush. Oh, yeah. Nope. Okay, here we go. I was on the wrong layer. Sorry about that, guys. Here we go. And just, I actually think I like it on their shoes as well. Their pants. It looks nice. But not on the skin, not on the clothes up here. And we're going to turn it down to about 75%. This just all gave it this nice golden brown, chocolate brown, whatever you want to call it. I just love it. So that looks good to me. And the next thing we're going to do is flatten that. So go up to layer and flatten. And I want to brighten up their skin just a little bit more. So I am going to run the Brighten Eyes and Skin. Come in here. And it's going to come on really strong at first, but we're going to dial it back. I just kind of want to brighten up my sister's sweet little face. Her hubby. Maybe a little bit there. Hands. There. About 27% looks good. We don't want to get too carried away. So before and after. And I'm going to flatten it. Layer, flatten. Oops. Okay. And now I'm going to add a light overlay. It's not the exact color that I want, so we're going to make some adjustments once it's on the image. So you're going to select it, Command A, and then you're going to want to copy it, Command C, and paste it, Command V. Set to screen mode, and I'm going to move it coming from the corner. And that looks good to me. Hit OK. And then I'm going to add a little bit of blur to it. So go to the filter, blur, Gaussian blur. About 48% looks good to me. And now I want to change the color. So all I'm going to do for that is to go into the adjustments, grab a hue and saturation layer, hit this downward arrow. So what I'm doing will only affect this light overlay. So I'm going to hit that down, and we're going to desaturate it a lot to about, that looks good, 80%. And maybe play with the tones here a little bit. That looks good, wouldn't you say? Okay, I like the look of that. And we're almost done. I think the only other thing I want to do is run the image base. So I'm going to first flatten this, layer, flatten, and then I'm going to come over here, and let me find it, here we go, image base, play that. So for here, all I want to concentrate on is, oops, shoot, what did I do there? Go back, okay. Is focus on the overall brightness of the image and to warm it up just a little bit. So I don't want the darken edges or the contrast, but I do want the brighten up. I like to just go all the way to 0 and then see where my eye likes it. So obviously you get over here and it's just way too bright for this image. But I think we just need to add a little bit of brightness. Nothing crazy. So about 9% looks good to me. And then for the color dazzle, I'm going to crank it up just a little bit to about 21%. I like that there. And as you can see, it kind of made my sister look a little bit orange. She already had a little bit of a tan going compared to the rest of her family. So I'm going to just wipe that off of her. Maybe her hubby's ear and nose there, and hands. There we go. So there we have it, guys. We are all done from start to finish. And it only took us about 11 minutes. Not bad, huh? You can find all the actions and light overlay that I used here on the Storyville website, www.storyvillephotography.com. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.